Good. Okay. Good evening, and welcome to the August 26th Board of Aldermen meeting, City, Town, and Country. I now call this meeting to order. I would ask everyone to stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I would ask the city clerk to call roll for attendance.
Alderman Allen.
Here.
Alderman Harder.
Here.
Alderman Kinsella.
Here.
Alderman Murphy.
Here.
Alderman Schwer.
Here.
Alderman Steinhubel.
Here.
And Alderman Weezahan.
Here.
I have Alderman Hughes as absent. Mary was presiding, and we do have a quorum.
Thank you. I just have a couple of comments before we go to the minutes. There's oftentimes bad news about St. Louis as a region, and I just want to share something that you may have already seen, but when you think about it, when the Rams lost St. Louis, the Rams sent a pretty scathing letter to the NFL about why they should leave St. Louis because it is a town in serious decline. We have lost the fact that we're not an airline hub anymore. And I will tell you, in my time at Mercy, sometimes recruiting physicians to St. Louis was difficult. When you come in and occasionally rated the #1 city in the country for murders, it tends to make people maybe not want to go there. I mean, you could even argue, in a sense, we went on somewhat of a downhill slide since 1904. Just think about it. In 1904, we hosted a World's Fair and an Olympics at the same time. I mean, that's really not even conceivable. We could do one or the other at this time. And we, Monsanto doesn't exist, Anheuser-Busch not so much. So we've had our bumps in the road. So I just wanted to share this. This was when, this is a little while ago from STL today that said that in the 12 months that ended at the end of June, St. Louis's job growth was the 7th fastest among the 50 largest metropolitan areas, ahead of places like Austin and Phoenix and Charlotte. And that 7th place ranking is the best for any 12-month period since 1990. And in 2012, we ranked dead last. So I thought, that's a little, is that sustainable? Don't really know. But I do think the article did point out that one of the reasons for it is that the new Accenture Technology Center has been one of the big stimulus for this. And I'm proud to say that's located in town and country. And the only other point I want to make is that someone did send to me something from a website called Go Banking Rates, which is basically a website that deals with banking rates. And it listed the richest small towns in every state. And so they just listed one town in every state, and Town and Country was #1, was in Missouri the richest town in this state, according to that website. And that placed us 16th nationally. So I think that's a kind of a feather in the cap for our community. Oftentimes I've spent probably more time than I should looking at lists like that, and oftentimes we do pretty well on those lists. So congratulations to our citizenry. I now just go on to start the regular meeting. I would seek a motion and second to approve the minutes from the August 12th meeting.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion or amendment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's great. There's no public hearings, but this is the point where usually we hear from citizens, and I've got a couple of citizens who would like to speak, and the first one is Kathleen Wood, and everyone to come up and just give your name and address for the record, and we're happy to hear from you.
Which one are you looking at?
Well, I see you have two of them. If you would
Yeah.
just do one and then
Okay,
go on to the next one, I think that would probably be the most efficient.
okay.
Please.
I live at 22 Country Life Acres,
Thank you.
which borders Town and Country.
Correct.
On the other side of the street is Town and Country.
Correct.
So that's my concern here, is the building of the two houses that are supposedly scheduled for building. I don't know when they're gonna start, if they're gonna start, but there are trucks that have been parking there the last couple of days. I've noticed them. Now, they've been there for a while, but I just didn't drive out to the back street to look at them. But I did take pictures, and you, Ryan, I think.
He did. We won't.
Yeah.
We won't have
But there was one there at 6 o'clock this evening when I left the house. And it was a truck. I mean, it was a big truck. It was not the pickups that you have photos of. So he's parking his vehicle there in the morning and driving this big truck wherever his job is. And then he's coming back in the evening and changing the vehicles out. So, my question is that legal? And do we have to have those vehicles parked in the unoccupied building site, future building site? So that's the reason that I filled out that one.
Okay.
And I do have a picture of the vehicle that was there tonight, but it's in my phone. I didn't go back to the house and print it out. So I can send it to you all tomorrow. Okay?
Thank you.
Now, the other thing is that the last meeting, I had COVID. I was diagnosed on Saturday, and this was on Monday. So we decided I would just bring the information up here, and Ryan would disperse it. But I haven't received any notification that anybody's read it.
It was distributed to myself and all the members of the board.
And noted for the record and attached to the minutes.
Right, and this is in the minutes, yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that, Ashley.
It was attached to the minutes formally for the record,
Oh,
so it'll
okay.
be on our website and distributed in person as well.
Thank you very much. But I would like answers to some of the questions, because the actual street that's in the back that I share does not meet code. It doesn't meet the fire department's code in terms of how wide it needs to be for the fire trucks to go down in case they have to go down. So that would be one of my issues about that particular thing that we need to get addressed. It's not really, the actual easement is not 20 feet, but it ranges from 17 feet, 2 inches to 12.4 in the most narrow spot. And people don't trim the vegetation along the lane. I do, because I have plants that grow there. And I have a disagreement with the utility companies. They think they have an easement and they don't. And they want to cut down my sassafras trees, and those sassafras trees have been growing there in that location forever. As long as that was a road, those sassafras trees have been growing up there. Now, in terms of these garages that are gonna be built, are the one owner wants to get it added to his, there's two people people living in that house. 2 people. And they need to have a 4-car garage in addition to 4 garages that they already have included in their drawings for their house. It doesn't make sense to me. And no other houses on Mueller Lane have multiple detached garages. So I'd also like clarification of where those garages are gonna be built, because the sign was put up at the wrong location.
Ms. Wood, your 3 minutes is up. If you could conclude, please.
Sure. Okay, so that's just some of the items that I had included with my letter from last week. And I'll just wait to hear from your response.
Thank you for coming up, and I will just say, in general, the city is not in a position to legislate to people how big a garage they can have or not have. You know, some people, maybe there's just 2 people, but maybe he's a car collector or whatever. That, all of that had to go past planning and zoning and architecture review board before it got here, and so, and in general, I mean, if someone came in and said, okay, yeah, I'm gonna put up 16-car garage or something, that, I'm pretty sure that would not have passed P&Z. But in general, the city doesn't really have the authority to mandate someone wants a somewhat large, I mean, pretty much everybody in town and country, almost everyone, I think, has a 3-car garage, or someone wants a 4-car garage. And I'm honestly, I'm really not up for any more tree debate, so it's utility. But I would ask Ryan if you could comment a minute on if that's yours or Michael's, about whether the road itself meets code for fire engines to go down there. That was the one point that I thought.
Well, the fire district has reviewed
Yeah.
plans and
That's what I thought.
they've
Right.
approved of construction of the houses. I mean, it's a narrow road. We have narrow roads in town and country, so we have narrow roads. But
That's what I thought, but I just wanted that to be, all right. Well, thank you, Ms. Wood, thank you for taking your time to come up here and give us your opinion.
Oh, well, that was another question I had. What's the access going to be for the 4-car garage? The one was not included in the original.
No, I mean.
It's off Mueller Lane.
as was explained.
Right.
at the
It's
planning
off
zoning.
Which doesn't need code.
The other speaker is Mr. Jim Newell.
Hi, I'm Jim Newell. I live at 838 Masonwood Drive. And I'm not only speaking for myself, but all my neighbors on Masonwood, or most of the neighbors, the houses in Mason Ridge Court, and several people up on Mason Ridge. And now that we have come to an agreement with Mason Point, we have a deed restriction in place. We are not only not opposed to it, we are in favor of it passing. And I just wanted to pass it on, and Ron Schaefer's been great to work with. I can't say enough good things about him. If I knew he was gonna be there forever, a handshake would be all I need with him, but anyway, and I also want to appreciate you guys for working with us and helping us. The one thing I can't tell you is that someday, if my wife and I move into Mason Point and one of my kids moves into our house, we may be back asking you to remove trees between our house and Mason Point so we can see our kids.
I got that for the record, Jim.
And if I could further comment that all these issues are sensitive, and people's thoughts and people can get pretty worked up, understandably. I just want to applaud both sides for willing to work together and find some common ground. It doesn't always happen. I would sometimes say it maybe doesn't happen often, but it happened here. And it was a real testimony to the willingness of people to listen to the other side. We don't do a lot of that in our society. We don't do a lot of listening to the other side. And to have both sides listen to each other, find common ground, and make something happen. I just want to applaud both sides. Did a great job. Thank you. Next, under appointments, I'd like to announce my intent to appoint Michael DeMarco to Police, Fire, and EMS Commission and Tracy Emo to the Public Works Commission at the next meeting. Ashley will distribute their application for your review. They're both eminently qualified. It's very gratifying. We have people with these type of credentials who are willing to come forward and to provide public service to our city. So I am very excited about the fact that they'll both be serving on commissions. And once you see their applications, I don't think there's anybody on the board who won't be excited about the fact that they're coming on board, which we can then announce at the next meeting. Thanks. At this point, I recognize the board's opportunity to provide any reports if they wish. Alderman Murphy.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a quick note, our final summer concert of 2024 was held this past Friday. About 800 people showed up again, very consistent all throughout the whole summer. Most notable about this one was there was the music from 7 to 9, but the community stayed there. Am I running out of time too?
Your 3 minutes is up. Next.
Mr. Mayor, I know that sometimes I might go on a little long, but I do appreciate the subtlety of that. As I was saying, one of the interesting things here was that the concert went from 7 till 9, but people stayed until about 10:30. It's just that community feel, that neighbor to neighbor contact that we're all striving to support. So glad to see that happen. There'll be more updates for some other activities, including Fire and Ice, Turkey Trot, the Winter Fest, as those commissions and committees move forward. But again, thank you all across the whole community for your support of the summer concerts.
I'd have to second, it was a wonderful, and it was a huge crowd. The weather was perfect, the band was fine. I'd like to, your commission and Ann, for consistently music you want to hear, consistently good music. It was an enjoyable evening, and it was a huge crowd. So I think the whole series, and I think I'd have it in July, and who knows how hot it might have been. We had a wonderful evening. So the whole thing I thought was a huge success. Alderman Allen.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple comments, and I piggyback on that comment about Friday night. I actually took a panorama shot on my phone and sent it, and I just told former Alderman Malin Smith, I sent it to some of the former aldermen who worked tirelessly on Town Square, because it's like now we can see the potential. And there was a lot of pushback that I got. I came on the board at the very tip end, and I just wanted to shut that baby, let it finish, get that completed. But there were people who worked on it for many years, and it was a lot of money, but it was a lovely evening, and you can see it's getting, if not there, but it's what the vision was to be.
I agree.
Thank you. I'd also like to comment, and I meant to text or call Alderman Weezahan. I'm sorry I didn't let you know first, but our Ways and Means Commissioner, Jason Hoberman, who is a Ward 2 appointee, he'll be resigning from Ways and Means. He's relocating, has a job out of state, so we'll have an opening for Ways and Means Ward 2. Also, the Military and First Responders Task Force, in conjunction with Mr. Don Music Construction, we're planning a groundbreaking around Veterans Day, if not November the 11th, for the tribute for the military and first responders. And it is moving forward.
That will be great if I can get to the groundbreaking. Congratulations, you put in yeoman work on that. You really have. All right, moving on to unfinished business. Bill number 24-37, sponsored by Alderman Kinsella and Harder without objection. Would the city clerk read the bill for the second time?
Bill number 2437 is an ordinance approving a conditional use and authorizing a conditional use permit for an accessory structure, a pool house located at 9 Williamsburg Estates Drive in the city of Town and Country. And Mayor, before we move on, if I could just state for the record that both Alderman Kinsella and Alderman Allen reviewed the recording of our last meeting, so they're privy to the public hearing that was held on this item and the next.
Thank you for pointing that out. I seek a motion and a second to approve.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion or amendment? I would ask the city clerk for a roll call vote.
Alderman Kinsella?
Aye.
Alderman Harder?
Aye.
Alderman Steinhubel?
Aye.
Alderman Weezingham?
Aye.
Alderman Murphy?
Aye.
Alderman Schwer?
Aye.
And Alderman Allen?
Aye.
The bill passes unanimously and becomes ordinance number 4643.
Thank you. Next bill number 24-38, sponsored by Alderman Hughes and Schwer. Without objection, will the city clerk read the bill for the second time?
Bill number 2438 is an ordinance approving a conditional use and authorizing a conditional use permit for an accessory structure not enumerated in the zoning code, a detached garage, located at 2212 Mueller Lane in the city of Town and Country.
Thank you. I seek a motion and second to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion or amendment? I would ask the city clerk for a roll call vote.
Alderman Steinhubel?
Aye.
Alderman Schwer?
Aye.
Alderman Weezingham?
Aye.
Alderman Harder?
Aye.
Alderman Allen?
Aye.
Alderman Kinsella?
Aye.
And Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
The bill passes unanimously and becomes ordinance number 4644.
Thank you. Next bill number 24-39, also sponsored by Alderman Hughes and Schwer. Without objection, will the city clerk read the bill for the second time?
Bill number 2439 is an ordinance approving a record plat for a re-subdivision of lots 8 and 9 of Dubon Lane in the city of Town and Country, and authorizing the record plat to be recorded in the office of the Recorder of Deeds of St. Louis County.
Thank you. I seek a motion and second to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion or amendment? I'd ask the city clerk for a roll call vote.
Alderman Schwer?
Aye.
Alderman Allen?
Aye.
Alderman Steinhubel?
Aye.
Alderman Harder?
Aye.
Alderman Murphy?
Aye.
Alderman Weezingham?
Aye.
And Alderman Kinsella. The bill passes unanimously and becomes ordinance number 4645.
Thank you. Next bill number 24-40, also sponsored by Alderman Steinhubel and Alderman Weezingham. Without objection, would the city clerk read the bill for the second time?
Bill number 2440 is an ordinance approving a record plat for Bellcrest Estates Plat 2 in the city of Town and Country, and authorizing the record plat to be recorded in the office of the Recorder of Deeds of St. Louis County.
Thank you. I seek a motion and a second to approve.
Second.
Thank you. And Alderman Weezingham.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have a quick question maybe for Mr. Shelton or possibly Mr. Rehnquist. I know in the past, I just wanted to kind of get an update. There's been some, just want to see how the interactions were between neighbors of Bellcrest and for this project moving forward for Bellcrest 2, everything going okay, everything's up to code, just want to see it. Hadn't heard in a couple of months, so just want to get an update of how things were going.
I'd invite Mr. Rehnquist to the podium if that's okay, Mayor. And I would point out, I believe you just came in from out of town. We had some concerns today about some wood chipping and some dust and some things, and I don't know if you want to address
No,
that.
I'm gonna look at it tomorrow, so
Okay.
I guess dust is better than mud, so. But, yeah, so basically, we've met and did well with all the neighbors, and everybody's happy, and one neighbor got a bridal easement, and that's what she was looking for, she got that, the other one with pieces too, so we haven't heard from them for months too, which is always good.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any other discussion? I would ask the city clerk for a roll call vote.
Alderman Steinhubel?
Aye.
Alderman Weezingham?
Aye.
Alderman Murphy?
Aye.
Alderman Kinsella?
Aye.
Alderman Allen? Passes unanimously and becomes ordinance number 4646.
Thank you. Next. Sponsored by Alderman Steinhubel and Weezingham. Without the city clerk, read the bill for the second time.
Bill number 2441 is an ordinance adjusting the municipal boundary of the city of Town and Country for properties located on Mason Meadows Court in the Mason View Estates subdivision and directing certification of same.
Thank you. Seek a motion to approve. Second. Any discussion? Alderman Weezy.
I just wanted to state, I spoke with the trustees, I've been in favor of this annexation prior to this, when it's first brought up, I think it's a good idea for the city, so I would support this.
Thank you. Alderman Stein.
Two things, Bob, you were gonna check on no neighbor issues, I forgot to ask you that.
No neighbor issues. Some of them are here. They're all sitting together. That's a good sign.
Yes, I'll like this, very well. I also want to remind our new residents that Town and Country does not maintain Mason Road. So when you complain about the potholes, that goes to the county.
Sure.
You'll also be happy to know that with Mike's help, we have corrected the light northbound at Clayton and Mason. We'll be getting our green turn arrow back. So all that confusion in the new intersection will be taken care of, but I assume after the vote, we can welcome you to Town and Country.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Seeing none, I'd ask the city clerk for a roll call vote.
Alderman Weezy.
Aye.
Alderman Steinhubel.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman Allen.
Aye.
Alderman Kinsella.
Aye.
Alderman Schwer.
Aye.
And Alderman Harder.
Aye.
The bill passes unanimously and becomes ordinance number 4647.
Congratulations. You did hear we passed a property tax. Next, bill number 24-42, sponsored by Alderman Stein. Without objection, the city clerk read the bill for the second time.
Bill number 2442 is an ordinance accepting the bid and authorizing an agreement with St. Louis Select Landscaping for the Clayton Road and Municipal Center bioswale reconstruction project.
Thank you. Seek a motion and second to approve.
Second.
Any discussion on that? Will the city clerk call for a roll call vote?
Alderman Steinhubel.
Aye.
Alderman Harder.
Aye.
Alderman Allen.
Aye.
Alderman Kinsella.
Aye.
Alderman Schwer.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
And Alderman Weezy.
Aye.
The bill passes unanimously and becomes ordinance number 4648.
Thank you. Next, bill number 24-43, sponsored board as a whole without objection. Will the city clerk read the bill for the second time?
Bill number 2443 is an ordinance re-adopting Chapter 120 Code of Ethics of Title I of the City of Town and Country Municipal Code.
I seek a motion and second to approve.
So. Second.
Any discussion? I ask for a roll call vote.
Alderman Allen.
Aye.
Alderman Weezy.
Aye.
Alderman Kinsella.
Aye.
Alderman Schwer.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman Harder.
Aye.
And Alderman Steinhubel.
Aye.
The bill passes unanimously and becomes ordinance number 4649.
As we move on to bill number 24-44, to recognize that Alderman Weezahan and Allen have recused themselves and left the dais. All right, and this is sponsored by Alderman Murphy. Without objection, to the city clerk read the bill for the second time.
Bill number 2444 is an ordinance amending Title 23 of Chapter 405, the zoning regulations of the Town and Country Municipal Code, specifically by amending Section 405.1800 regarding Plan Development 1, Mason Point, and approving an amended final site development plan for Phase 3 at 13190 South Outer 40 Road.
Thank you. I seek a motion and second to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Alderman Kinsella.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I want to echo what the mayor had said earlier, Ron and Jim. I think the efforts that you put into working with all the neighbors and get everyone on the same page was admirable. So thank you for all of the effort you put into it. I know it was a lot of time and effort.
Thank you.
Mayor, may I also just note for the record that Ron Schaefer with LSS and George Stock with Stock and Associates are present if there's any questions.
Actually, ask you for a roll call vote.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman Schwer.
Aye.
Alderman Kinsella.
Aye.
Alderman Steinhubel.
Aye.
And Alderman Harder.
Aye.
The bill passes unanimously and becomes ordinance number 4650.
Congratulations to all parties. Congratulations. Alderman Weezahan and Allen can return to the dais. if they want. Next is a resolution number R10-2024, continuing from 8/12/24. A resolution authorizing the Director of Parks and Recreation to apply for a municipal park grant to renovate the Preservation Park playground. I seek a motion and second to approve.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion or amendment? Alderman Kinsella.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to make sure that I'm voicing my opinion about this prior to our going further with the vote, because I'm a bit uncomfortable with the cost of this particular investment in park. I can appreciate the time and effort the commission put into it, and your team's effort. However, it is a $500,000 investment, and we're being pressured to come up with a decision on this because the grant is, the deadline for applying for the grant is at the end of the month. And I don't feel like that has allowed us enough time to think through what's the best strategy for the park. I think we'll have a great opportunity to do that during the retreat on October 3rd. But without having had that deep discussion about it, I feel less comfortable about moving forward with the resolution.
That's a valid point. But my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, however, and that if we get awarded the grant, we don't necessarily have to accept it. But if we don't get the application in, then it's something we do want to do, it's water under the bridge. So this is more of an application for a grant. And if we do get it, and we decide we decide, say we should stop Preservation Park, whatever, which would be something I would definitely be against, but just as theoretical. I don't believe we have to actually accept the grant, do we, if we apply for it? Can you expound on that, please, Ann?
The resolution states that this board would enter into an agreement with the Municipal Park Grant Commission if it were awarded. However, with that being said, you can decline.
Okay. I mean, that's kind of the way I look at it. I don't wanna, if it looks like that's something when we do a deep dive in October and we decide, yeah, this is actually what we wanna do, I don't wanna be kicking ourselves that, gosh, we could have, we just walked away from it if we, and it's not a lead pipe central to get the grant, frankly. I mean, and it's another point I do wanna make, that, we've had a remarkable success in getting grants and getting our parks renovated. And what we have had to spend versus the overall cost in terms of what we had to spend in terms of city funds has been truly remarkable. Because honestly, I would have always thought the richest little city in the state of Missouri would not be high on the list of people to get grants. Because I said, you guys have enough funds of your own. So I think there's a lot of kudos to the people who have grants first, because that's not the easiest thing to do. Having said that, I'm going to be quiet because I got 4 aldermen who want to say something. I'm just going to go in order. But I got one more time, people.
Thank you, Mayor. And my question is for you. One, I totally agree with what the mayor just said. Like, your efforts to get these, your efforts to get these grants have been, our parks are wonderful, and people from all over the West County area and other areas that visit our parks are always super impressed. Thank you for the work you do. If we were to get this grant and we started this discussion, are we about to update or change the plans slightly as long as we remain on the original budget you're putting in, you're submitting?
We are not.
So the plan as is either we accept the grant for that.
Correct.
Okay, no changes at all.
You can petition the Municipal Park Grant Commission for a change.
Likelihood of getting
Unlikely.
unlikely. Okay, good to know.
You can substitute items, so for example, if you wanted item number 12, piece of playground equipment, you'd like to substitute item number 15 from the catalog, you could do that kind of substitute.
So it's like pickleball courts for an ice rink, would that be item number 13 and 14?
It would not.
It would not. Okay, so it has to be very similar. Okay, just curious.
And I don't want to beat it to death, but general consensus is if you get it, you take the grant, but you do have the ability to decline it. I know they won't be happy about it, but you do have the ability to decline it.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Alderman Louisiana.
What is our commitment to the CDC? I mean, I know, assuming we agree on the proposal of the type of playground, what is our commitment to CBC and to that portion of the property? I know the discussions come up to sell part of the renovation, but are we required to keep any portion of it and maintain it as is?
Currently, we are expected to maintain that portion. I'm not sure of the language in the agreement, but it's
It states as
similar
recreation
use. Yeah.
space, so you would
Thank
not
you.
be able to sell that piece. If you were gonna sell anything, it would be the wooded acre, the wooded area that I would contemplate we would discuss at the retreat, not this. And I think Ms. Nixon can speak to, that playground needs to be taken out for safety reasons. So the cost to take it out and just seed and straw and repair it is what we would be paying in our match as well. But to answer your question, that has to stay as recreation under our agreement with CDC.
So even if we want to sell part of it, we have to keep that portion of the property and our name.
Just the wooded area.
That portion, where that current playground and grant is contemplated.
Alderman Kinsella.
Just as a retort, Mayor, to your comments from earlier, I can appreciate that once we go and ask for a grant, we can turn it down, although I feel like that's not going to be seen as a good omen for our future efforts to get grants so successfully done. So I'd be a little concerned about that part. Another element that you actually brought up at the last meeting was that there could be additional risks to the city in terms of liability by adding a bike park. And you challenged the city attorney at the time, who had to come up with a quick answer. And he felt that it wouldn't change the equation, I believe was the terminology. And yet, it just feels a little uncomfortable to me that there's no additional risk in something that becomes a little out of maintenance perhaps, and then someone gets injured. It's a lot easier to happen on a bike park than it would be, for instance, on a swim. So that was only
Good point.
my other thoughts on that.
Good point. Alderman Harder.
Going through it, the deadline for this particular grant is August 30th. Is the program going to be renewed next year by St. Louis County? So will we have another chance January 1st?
Yes,
Okay, so it would delay it, not eliminate it.
correct. However, we will have to repair the pour-in-place
Yeah.
surfacing that's existing now.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question then, and if we would sort of punt on it and reapply, would it delay it by a year or more than a year? I'm just curious your thoughts on that.
Well, obviously a year. We don't know when we will get awarded because the way the grants are scored, it's based upon who else applies, what their score total is, and then where we fall in that process. It's hard to say. We've been awarded 2 in a row.
I'm a little bit afraid when the county runs out of ARPA funds, they're gonna be a little less generous.
Well, this is a separate dedicated sales tax.
Okay.
It will run out, in 2030, I believe is the,
All right, so we got time on that.
yeah.
Okay, all right. Alderman Murphy.
Thank you. There's been a lot of factors and variables thrown in. Thank you, Alderman Kinsella and others, for your commentary. I just wanted to kind of get the numbers down right off the bat. I think we heard a budget of $500,000 for the park. My understanding is that it's $500,000 roughly that would be grant, $51,000 or so from the city funds. Is that pretty much accurate?
Correct, so the grant funds would be 465,000.
And of the funds that are coming through the city, what are the revenue sources for that? Is that the general fund, or where's that coming from?
It's a good question. So all capital projects in the parks, at least right now, are being funded through the Parks and Stormwater Fund, which is funded primarily through a 50-cent sales tax. So it is a separate bucket, if you will, from the general fund.
Okay, so we recently passed the property tax increase. Would any of those dollars be applied into this?
No.
You had mentioned a little bit, and Mr. Shelton had mentioned as well, just some maintenance and upkeep that has to happen to that, to the facility right now, that parkland. Could you kind of give a little bit of detail in terms of what the issues are?
Well, if you look at it from a long-term perspective, I've had the conversation previously about, well, why don't we just demolish the playground and plant grass seed and water it? Somebody remembers this conversation. And this was during our planning process, and the answer to that question is that it is less expensive for the city to leverage the grant funding to accomplish the 4 pickleball courts and a bike playground than it would be to simply demo the playground, plant grass seeds, straw, and water it. So that would be around, using the demo numbers from the Longview playground, it would cost approximately $60,000 to demo, grade, seed, straw, and water, and have no new recreational value.
And again, the city cost for pursuing the grant would be what?
The 51,000.
51 is less than 60?
Yes, sir.
To our city attorney, some of my colleagues have wondered about the liability. The actual bike path or the bike trail, what's probably the maximum drop off from bike path or trail or whatever you want to call it to the ground?
For the proposed new play features, less than 18 inches.
So, city attorney, have you had any other thought or consideration on the question of added liability, or is this the same as someone falling off a jungle gym?
I don't believe the city's insurers underwrite each element of each feature that the city owns. So I believe, the fact that it's a recreation facility will probably drive the rate of insurance coverage cost more than what the features in the recreation ground are. But that is an assumption. We can ask the city's insurance consultants on that issue.
Yeah, that might be a good follow through. I guess the last thing, at the last meeting, I talked about, hey, this pickleball thing is here to stay, what the deal is. I actually did look up some research on it, so I want to share a little bit. I won't go down the rabbit hole too much. But 2023, which is the most recent data, Sports and Fitness Industry Association estimated that 13.6 million people played pickleball. That's a 51.8% increase over 2022. Let's take it off. Obviously, that's the fastest sport growing in the United States. About 19% of the adult population is playing that, according to the Association of Pickleball Professionals. They have associations as well. This is an entity that's getting very well organized. And I think I mentioned last time that at least Ellisville was looking at converting the shop and save on Manchester to pickleball. So the sense is that it gives, this could potentially give Preservation Park a purpose, an identity, and pickleball would be it. It seems like something that's timely and relevant to the society as a whole. So, thank you.
If I could actually get onto that, I'm being absolutely serious. If we're that we planted grass seed where we could have put in 4 pickleball courts, I'm just kidding aside, that would be extraordinary and popular decision. Alderman Stein.
Yeah, sorry, Mayor, I have 2 quick follow-ups.
Sure.
So just quickly, CDC, is that agreement in perpetuity?
It's for a long period of time.
Okay, so
I don't know the
beyond our
exact,
lifetimes.
but it is close to perpetuity.
Okay, thank you. And again, a question for you. Your commission, which is made up of representatives from all of our wards, they approved the plan as we're gonna vote on it, correct?
Unanimously.
Unanimous. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. I asked the city clerk that perhaps on this one, it'd be better to do a roll call vote than just a voice vote.
It's completely up to you.
Let's do a roll call vote. There's been a lot of discussion, I think. I want to just try to decide what sounded louder. We just do a roll call vote.
You're ready for the question now?
And we are ready. Yes.
Alderman Steinhubel?
Aye.
Alderman Schwer?
Aye.
Alderman Allen?
Aye.
Alderman Weezahan?
Aye.
Alderman Harder?
No.
Alderman Murphy?
Aye.
And Alderman Kinsella?
Nay.
It carries 5-2.
Great discussion by the board members. Great discussion. All right, next. Resolution number R11-2024, also continued from the 2024. A resolution directing the city administrator and director of public works to provide formal indication of non-support to the Metropolitan St. Louis Sewer District, MSD, regarding a specific additional property tax on properties located within the Deer Creek watershed. I seek a motion and second to continue indefinitely.
So moved.
Motion to continue. And I'll second.
Second, fine. Any discussion on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Next, bill number 24-45, sponsored board as a whole, without objection, with the city clerk read the bill for the second time.
Bill number 2445 is an ordinance authorizing the city administrator to enter into an agreement with St. Louis County regarding various rights and responsibilities related to the Mason Road resurfacing and shared use path project, including reimbursement of the city's local match portion of the project's expenses.
Thank you. I seek a motion and second to approve.
So moved.
Second. Thank you. Any discussion or amendment on that? I'd ask the city clerk for a roll call vote.
Alderman Kinsella?
Aye.
Alderman Steinhubel?
Aye.
Alderman Harder?
Aye.
Alderman Weezahan?
Aye.
Alderman Schwer?
Aye.
Alderman Murphy?
Aye.
And Alderman Allen?
Aye.
The bill passes unanimously and becomes ordinance number 4651.
Thank you. Next, bill number 24-46, sponsored by Alderman Murphy. Without objection, with the city clerk read the bill for the second time.
Bill number 2446 is an ordinance authorizing the city administrator to execute an agreement with Equine Assisted Therapy, Inc. for the boarding of horses and use of the stable and pastures at Longview Farm Park.
Thank you. Seek a motion and second to approve.
So,
Second.
Any discussion or amendment? But again, ask the city clerk for a roll call vote.
Alderman Murphy?
Aye.
Alderman Weezahan?
Aye.
Alderman Steinhubel?
Aye.
Alderman Schwer?
Aye.
Alderman Kinsella?
Aye.
Alderman Allen?
Aye.
And Alderman Harder.
Aye.
The bill passes unanimously and becomes ordinance number 4652.
Thank you. Next, moving on to new business, I recognize again that Alderman Weezahan and Allen have recused themselves and left the dais. We'll read the agenda item. Architectural review for Mason Point located at 13190 South Outer 40 Road. Seek a motion and second to approve.
So moved.
Any discussion on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Carried unanimously. I would ask Alderman Weezahan and Allen to return to the dais.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next is bill number 24-47, perhaps sponsored by the board as a whole, without objection, with the city clerk read the bill for the first time.
Bill number 2447 is an ordinance authorizing supplement number 1 to the professional services agreement work order with HR Green Inc. for additional engineering design services related to the Longview Farm Park parking lot resurfacing project.
Bill number 2447 is continued to the meeting on Monday, September 9, 2024, for the second reading consideration. The warrant list is $293,605.34. Seeking motion and second to approve.
So moved.
Any discussion? Alderman Allen.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a few topics to comment on. First of all, I would like to point out, just so we all know, the world we live in, it used to cost the city $100 to pick up a dead deer, and now it costs us $125. So the cost of things are going up there.
I would only comment, in this day of inflation, I thought you were gonna tell me it was $250, so $125, I consider a success story.
Well, everything's relative.
Yes.
So, okay, and Mr. Sheldon and I talked this afternoon. And just on the first page of the warrant list, the 6875 for the ADA compliance solutions. And that's something that we're mandated to do by the Department of Justice. And my thought was, and Ms. Sheldon and I talked about it, as we're moving into the fall and people are going to be getting their property tax bills, the assessments, and Mayor, you mentioned property tax earlier.
This is sad truth.
It's going, there are people, I believe, that, you know, it was over their heads, that they did not understand or they weren't paying attention that we passed the property tax. So this is an example of a cost that we're mandated to do. We have no control over many of these non-discretionary spends. And I think it would behoove us to create the body of information to clarify the whys and everything. You want, Bob, go ahead and talk about what you were.
The mayor and I have talked with Ashley and Morgan of having the mayor actually send out a mailer probably in October to all residents. So informing them of some of the great things going on in the community and also to let them know, you know, some of the realities of the expense situation. So we plan to have that as a direct mail piece.
Okay, can I continue? So we had a number of refunds, and so just to clarify, when a business comes to the city for a project, there's a dollar value that they pay the city to move their project through. So we have many refunds on this one, and so the point is, and the funds vary, but that is because that's the amount of money left that was not spent within that, I guess what you said, was a permit to start with. They pay for the permit, or the, whatever they pay for.
Application fee for.
There's an application fee, and then there's money set aside in case there's damages or any kind of
So, yeah, that's,
extra
these
costs
refunds are
that we
the monies that are left. And I think sometimes we, and I don't think anybody glosses over this, but I think it's always good to, little by little, to point out some of the.
Absolutely.
So I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Alderman Carter, sir. A couple of items. The first one is the Do It Tennis. So, and that was for the tennis backboard at Longview. Was that for the replacement of that backboard? Okay, so that was budgeted at $6,400. And we came in at $8,049, which is 25.7% above budget. And not only that, but I was there Sunday morning walking the dog. The old backboard is still there. Did we pay for things before they go up?
Yes, order it, so we paid for it to be shipped. For them to ship it, we pay for it. And so that we can get on their construction schedule for installation. The current backboard, if you would go.
Well, it needs repair. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that we shouldn't repair it, but
Right.
I was just kind of wondering what an $8,000 plywood wall looked like.
It's not plywood,
Okay, so we're not doing plywood again.
correct.
Okay. Okay, and so, but it was over budget because we had to ship it in?
The shipping and the cost of the backboard increased from what was anticipated last year at this time.
Okay. Well, and then the other item I've got is, the water at Town Square, the $4,300. Did we leave the faucets running for a while or what?
We had an irrigation leak,
Okay.
so sort of.
Yeah.
It has been repaired.
I mean, I could have filled my pool up half a dozen times today. Okay.
Any other discussion? Just do a voice vote, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passion unanimously. I do not have any other business, but I will open up the Aldermen if there's any other topic they wish to discuss tonight. Seeing none, I seek a motion and second to adjourn. So moved. Assume no discussion. And all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Great meeting. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for